All right, so today's Coach the Coach is going to be about being yourself. So if I'm honest, I actually scrapped what I was going to speak about yesterday. I didn't feel like I had enough content. I kind of read a book which I found in the office downstairs called In the Zone. I feel like I didn't have enough content from it to kind of teach you what I wanted to get across. So I kind of scrapped it all and did it on something else. And it's about being yourself. And I think you can take this into many kind of avenues today. You can think about actually personally about being yourself. You can help your clients about being their self. If you've got children, you can kind of portray down to them as well. So I think we can use it in kind of any aspects of life about being yourself. On a personal note, I think if I'm looking back at trying to be myself, I think there was a certain big time in my life where you try and find yourself, or we all kind of go through this age where we try and find ourselves, and then we come to an age where we're actually happy and we know ourselves. All right, so I kind of feel like I've just about reached that at the minute, and I'm kind of happy with who I am. All right, so first of all, I want us to think of anyone. It could be a celebrity, it could be somebody from the gym, somebody who you feel has been successful with whatever they've set out to do. All right, so it could have been Marcus, for example, setting out to do his 30-30 last year. He said he was going to do 30 marathons in 30 days, and he did do, which is quite remarkable. All right, so just think of somebody who you can think of might be in the gym. These people, the successful people, they have the ability to achieve both personal, professional, and life goals. Okay, so that's what a meaning of successful will be. All right. Now, if you think of these people, you might describe them as larger than life. All right, they have a certain glow about them. All right, they walk into a room. We spoke about this before, about having an energy. We need that energy to run a class. We want the energy to portray against our members. So people will be described larger than life. They have a good energy about them. When they walk into the room, you know that they're in the room, and it's for a good reason. Their mood changes. All right, and these people, successful people, and they're in full flow of humanity. All right, that's them. They're happy with themselves, and that comes down to them and their individuality. All right, so if you think of that person again, let's say it is Marcus, or it could be anyone, a celebrity like I did say earlier. Your job is to be nothing like that person, all right, because we are all different, all right? You have to be as good at being you as they are as them, if that makes sense. All right, so you don't want to be anything like them, but you want to be good at being you, just like they're as good at being them. All right? So, everyone has their own thing, all right? This is individuality. Everyone has their own strengths, so you just got to play to them, all right? You got to know who you are. This is big in the InnerFight internship. Ben sits us down and asks, who are you? All right? Or, who do you think you are? And I've underlined think there because you might think you're one person, but then other people might have a totally different idea of you. All right? When we go over the slide of who you are, and Ben asks you that question, it gets you thinking about your values, your beliefs, and your principles, and what meaning they have to you. If that makes sense. All right? So a value, Ben, what would be a value to you? Honesty, all right? So honesty is a big value, being honest with yourself and being honest with everybody else around you, all right? So, just go on to my notes here. Who do you think you are? When you've got this and you're happy with your values, your beliefs and principles, if you've never done this, it's good exercise to sit down, maybe get the slide off Ben, read it, and actually have a good think of who do you think you are, who you are, what your values and beliefs are. Because if you've not done, it's definitely worth doing. It's a complicated yet simple question that can be asked. I know when I did it on my internship, I was sat down for a good 30 minutes thinking about my values, beliefs, and questioning what I thought was a value and belief, etc. All right? Just be yourself. This is some advice that maybe you've heard people give you, or you give other people. When people are nervous, you kind of just say to them, just be yourself. All right, like it's an easy thing to do. And it's not quite easy just being yourself. All right? I've put here kids and adults. So kids, they're pretty good at being themselves. If you was to think of a 4-year-old child, all right, which for me is the best age for kids. You can just watch them all day. They're funny, they make you laugh. They're quite mesmerizing, all right? They're 4 years old. They don't care what anybody else thinks, and they're good at being themselves, all right? If I was to come up into Yusuf's kids class on Saturday, or Carmen's kids class last Saturday, and ask these kids, who's the fastest kid? They'd all put their hand up going, me, 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 me. All of them would put their hand up, all right? If I was to ask maybe an older child, 7, 8, 9 years old, who's the fastest kid, they'd all point to him and say, he's the fastest one. They're more self-conscious about things, about the environment and who's faster, all right? So when we could get to that age of 7, 8, 9, become more self-conscious, and we actually kind of lose this bit of just being yourself. Things play a big role in that, the environment, social media, and so on. And I think from like 7, which is kind of the age of consciousness, from 7 to maybe 15, 16, 17, is when you're trying to find yourself and all those environment things come into play. So, I'm going to give now a little introduction to you, all right, using these 3 main elements, all right? The main elements, the first one is perception, and it's what others think of you. So even before people have met you, people can have this perception of you, all right? And again, it could be down to social media or Chinese whispers or whatever it might be. And perception is a big thing, right? So people actually have the need to be liked, which is a big thing. So this thing recently with Instagram, cancelling one of the things on Instagram about who's like what picture, I think that fits in well as well of perception. You want to try and be perception free. Don't care what people think about you, and try not to have a perception of other people. All right, just be yourself. Who really cares what other people think? All right. Number 2, persona. It's what you'd like others to think of you. It's a little bit different. All right, and this can change. It's where you present yourself to other people around you. Depending what day and what mood you're in, that can change. Think of it as like a coat that you put on for the day, all right, or a coat that you put on depending what kind of people you're with. So if I'm with a certain group of people, I might act a different way than I would to my close friends. All right, but it's trying to get that persona, your real persona, and being happy with who you are and not having to change for the people around you. Yes?
So, if you follow the perception where you don't care what others think of you,
yeah.
But then if we're gonna put on the coat, when we're with this kind of people,
yeah.
put on a different coat,
Uh-huh.
it kind of like contradicts against each other, right? Or is this really?
Right, so we're trying to say persona, we're trying to say like be happy with who you are. Don't have to change for other people, all right? Because like you could be with a group of people one day and act in a certain way, whereas if you're with your other friends, could be act a different way. So you want to have a persona that is just you. You shouldn't have to change.
No,
yeah?
I think Carmen is the only person I've ever met that is not like that.
Yeah.
She's the same with
Yeah, agreed.
That's a good thing.
I agree. Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to say here. You want to try and have your persona. It's your persona. No, and it shouldn't have to change. But what a lot of people do is they have this jacket on or a camouflage jacket. Well, that's it. Yeah, correct. It's like a camouflage jacket, and you go with your surroundings of other people. So just try and have your own persona and be happy with that. The last one, we've got ego. It's what you think of yourself. And again, it can change depending what mood you're in and what side of bed you've woke up. And this is just normal. All right, so one end of the scale, we've got ego ideal, or we've got further down the scale, which is like a bad day, right? Things are going bad for you, no matter what people put in your way, just making you a little bit more depressed. Nothing's working, it's a constant battle during that day. All right, we've got super ego, which is the other end of the spectrum, which everything's going well for you, you're the bee's knees, everything's getting thrown at you, it's like, come and deal with me, I've got it. And I think with life, you have this obviously ego, which is going to change, but life's all about having this stable relationship between your egos. So you're trying to find the balance, all right? Not trying to be too super egoistic and not trying to be too far down at this side of the scale, all right? Because then we have two sort of problems, all right? So you want to try and stay in the middle as much as you can. Things might happen, days go by where you might feel a lot like this, all right? Maybe something's happened in the gym, someone's injured themselves, or let's say a family member's died, all right? Whatever it might be. Your obviously ego is going to get right down to this side, all right? Which you can't help, but you've just got to remain idealistic of where you are in life and try and stay in that middle line, all right? And again, when you're at this side, everything's going well for you, you've got to just try and maybe rein it in a little bit. When I was thinking about this scale, I just jotted down 2 words here that I kind of thought would be good, which is remaining humble and having the gratitude as well. So when you are here and things are looking bad for you, then gratitude is what you've got to think of. Be happy that what you've got, so then you get your scale up further this way. And if you're too super egoistic, then just remain humble, which is going to draw you in a little bit more and keep you around this middle section of your ego, if that makes sense. I went and bought a couple of books the other week, and one book that I did buy was The Mind Manual, which I'm sort of reading now. And there's a little chapter in there about a bit about being yourself. And this is where I got the 4 factors that can help you be your true self. And this is from a study from some university in America, 2015-16. And these are the 4 factors, it says in the book, that can help you be your true self. Number 1 is the self-awareness, so being aware of who you are. So you're coming back to asking yourself, who do you think you are? What you're doing and why you're doing it. That could be in the moment or within like in life as well, so a bigger picture. All right, so being aware of who you are, your beliefs, your values, your principles, go back to those. Be aware of that, and then did it match up to what you're doing and why you're doing it? Number 2, objectivity. It's being unbiased in your thoughts and accepting the truth about yourself. So just being happy within yourself. Consistency, living accordingly to your values, beliefs, and principles. So you'll keep going back to them and living accordingly to those. Again, don't contradict yourself with what you believe in. All right? And number 4, which is a big value, most people tell you that they value honesty, and it's being honest about yourself, being you and expressing yourself in front of other people, which again is sort of going back to that persona thing. All right, so being honest with who you are, not having to put them different sort of coats on, and being happy with your persona around different groups of people. That's it. Any questions? Yes?
You said in the middle bit, mate,
Yeah.
that people have a need to be liked.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you can talk about that a bit more.
Yeah, I just think if you're not happy within yourself, with regards to social media and maybe even as a coach, you're needing the like people to like you. Okay, so if I'm coaching, I remember one of my first coaching jobs, because I was really nervous. I'd just done a bit of internship there and I just started coaching the classes. I went into some of my first weeks of classes, and because I was pretty shy, intimidated, nervous, I put on this persona of, that might have come a little bit as cocky at the time. It's just kind of my way of dealing with feeling a bit shy, intimidated. So I kind of did that to get people to like me within the class. So I think when people like you, when you're kind of delivering a session, it's a lot easier for you knowing that people like you and you can get on with your job rather than people not liking you, if that makes sense. Any other questions? Yeah, go ahead.
How can we
incorporate this with coaching? Yeah.
Like, I think it's really good.
Yeah.
How can we benefit from that into coaching?
All right.
One-on-one clients.
Yeah. So with one-on-one clients, why do your clients come back to you? Does anybody guess? Because they like you. All right, and they're going to like you more if you're yourself. You're not putting on this persona. So if you're yourself, you're larger than life, you have this energy about yourself in the room, then they're going to get attracted to you and they're going to come back because you are just you. And if they don't like you for being yourself, then you can just move on and go to somebody else. But 9 times out of 10, yes, they're going to come back because they like you for being you. So that's the whole idea. I think we can take it into coaching. We can take it into maybe speaking to our clients about being themselves as well, who are maybe going through some hard times, whether it's depression and so on. The Mental Health Awareness Day has just gone, which kind of fits in with being yourself as well. Just not being afraid to be who you are. Any more questions? Do you have another? Yeah, go on.
It's related to that. I actually think like what you spoke about can bring a lot of value to when you speak to a personal training client for the first time, or even when you have someone for base for the first time. Because if you look at focus on that middle bit, when people come in, generally their perception,
they already have a perception of you or the place,
not of you, of themselves.
Yeah. All right. So this is something that I want to take into my one-on-one clients. Not just all about personal training, but having to dig deeper into what they're going through, help them in other different ways, whether it's the mental health side of things, more health sort of coaching. But I want to bring a lot more stuff like this into my one-on-one PTs. I agree.
So many.
Yeah.
Even if you ask like 2 or 3 questions at the start and you just note their answer.
Yeah.
And then like you said, boss, like in that first thing, then you say, okay, how do you feel today? And you just always ask them something similar, then you've actually got data to track it. So when you sit down at the end of the month, or when they finish their 25 day, they say, well, this is how you told me on this day, and then it was this, and now it's this, and this and this.
Yeah.
Like it's easy for some people, like Andy can speak about it really openly, but some people, if they're not feeling great, if something like you said, life's not going good,
Yeah, the ego's down this way.
The ego's down here. That could be just because of something that's happened in work. But actually, if you've tracked all the data, which is a little bit subjective how you feel on that day, but if you've got it for them, you can actually prove to them that they really do need another 25 sessions with you.
Yeah.
Because when they came in, this is how they felt.
Correct.
And maybe you don't mark it down every session they do, but at least once or twice a week. It's almost like body analysis for them.
Agreed.
So you've got that data, so you can say, okay, we're not losing weight, but when we started you were here, and now we're moving to this level. Because I think that's one of the biggest reasons why people might stop personal training, or even, I'm using personal training because it's easier, because you've got more one-on-one time than in a class. But they might stop personal training because they say, I'm not getting physically better. But if they're emotionally and mentally better, it's worth them coming.
Correct. I think people like, I'm doing a lot more research and study on mental health because it's actually affected me personally. Like a friend back home was so depressed when I went home, I had to look after him, and just to look at him, he'd look like a normal person, but like deep down, he wasn't even allowed in the gym. He knew the owner, he wasn't classed as fit to go into a class because of his mental state. So I think when something like this kind of like hits you personally, I think since then it's kind of got me thinking about how I treat my clients. And when I was searching about mental health, like when you ask people, how are you feeling today, it always said, ask them again. Like, don't just ask them once, ask them that second time, and they might just tell you how they're really feeling.
I think that other 1% that you talked about, 8 out of 9 people, that 1% that's, you say, the client usually likes to train, and that's why they're coming back 9 out of 10 times. There's that 1% as well that I think we should all be wary of, that you might just not click with that particular client or that relationship, and yes, we're all here to make money and earn revenue and do these sorts of things, but I haven't thought about it right. If this is not working after those 25 sessions, it might not be them, it could be you, or it could be us. Right, okay. And that's the ego check. Has it been alright?
Yeah.
I haven't been doing my job.
I think to get on their level, I think is a good way of doing it.
Because we want to keep them here. We want to help them. It might not be me, it might be, we're helping help this person better because he relates to that person possibly, or vice versa. So I think that other end of the spectrum, that 1% that we maybe, I think it's the gym as an example, that are escaping or leaving because of, that's when we go back to, checking yourself, ego, things like that, making sure that they stay here as well.
There's ask because you don't want to like offend you or something.
Correct. I just
So
want to
you just
compare
have to
you.
tell them like, oh, you like to work with someone else, or
You want to work on your barbell stuff, sweet. And how's it going to sort you out for the next 5 weeks? Just gymnastics, sweet. If it's fun, no, jump over the bed. Those sorts of things.
Yeah, let's just bear in mind, like, people come to us for our one-on-one sessions, it's just 1 hour of the day. You know, like I've had a crap day at work, which most people do. Just try and make that 1 hour when they train with us the best hour of their day. Any more questions, Marcus?
I was just wondering when Laura's going to do her coach.
I have mentioned this before. I've mentioned it to her, she should be doing one. There's a spare slot next week.
That's the only other note I have here.
There's a spare slot next week. It's empty.
Beautiful. You make the roster, but you never put your name on it. I only just realised. No, I don't have any more questions, boss.
All right, thank you.
Good job, mate.
Cheers.
Good job, boys. Thank you.